What's your name?
Keith Silva.
What type of vehicle you got in the back?
It's an 83 S10.
What was the purpose of this rig?
Originally, rock crawler.
How long did it take to build?
Back in the day, originally 8 years.
Where did you take this rig at?
Rubicon, Ford Ice, King of the Hammers, Moon Rocks. Mainly just local.
And what was your favorite spot?
Hammers and Ford Ice.
And what inspired you to get into hammers?
Went out there last year, first trip, fell in love with it. Had to build a race rig.
So, what inspired you to build an EV?
Want to get into racing, miss it, used to do drag racing. Talked to you, talked to Kyle, talked about building a 4600 stock class, and everybody kept pushing, let's do an EV, let's do an EV. The S10 don't fall in any categories to race at Hammers, but EV has no exceptions. So why not take the ICE motor out and convert it to an EV?
Last question. How far along are you with the parts?
We have the Tesla. It is stripped.
What kind of Tesla is it?
It's a 2015 Model S P85. We have all the components to start the swap.
And was it hard to get?
The car was hard to get. We happened to be right place, right time on the computer, found it on the auction site for a very reasonable price, and jumped on it, bid on it, had it shipped to the house within a week.
So from start to finish, finding it, locating it, finding it, paying for it, start to finish, how long did that take? For the viewers who want to purchase a wrecked Model S, they're hard to find for a very good price.
They're hard to find for a reasonable price. That took, Hammers was what, January, February? We didn't get the car bid on it till March, so 2 months of hunting. And once we got the ball rolling, we purchased it within a day, and it took another week to get it transported here.
So 2 months?
2 months, give or take.
All right.
Take your time, look around.
There you go. Next, what class are you aspiring to race in?
EV has no class, but the way the S10's built and some changes to it, we're hoping to make the 4800 class, Legends class.
Any aspirations of going to 4400?
Future.
All right.
Definitely the future. This will stay as is. If we do 4400, that will be a whole new chassis and definitely some revamping.
And what challenges are you currently having right now in gathering parts? Let's get back into getting the parts.
Well, with everything going on with COVID and all that, parts are hard to come by right now. Suppliers are backed up. Transfer case that we're waiting on now to make this all happen is at least 6 to 8 weeks out. We're hoping to have it in time for its first little roller show.
Okay. What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge in the future? Besides the money, besides the labor, as far as parts?
Batteries are going to be hard to come by. They are hard to come by now, and they are very pricey. We're hoping we'll get this going with what parts we have now, but Hammers, we do need more batteries. That's going to be the problem.
All right. If this were to be being in drag racing, if this were to do the quarter mile, this is all for the drag racers out there. How fast do you think this thing could go in the quarter mile?
What's a stock Tesla do in a quarter? 12s? 13s?
11s.
Yeah, see, so 11s. She's 5,000 pound rig now. We're gonna try to trim some fat off of it to save kilowatt hours on the batteries. Still probably be at least a 13-second 4-wheel drive.
That's fast.
That's respectable.
Anything you want to add? Do you have any safety concerns?
Yes, these do melt down. The system we're going to run for the controllers has a lot of safety protocols to monitor battery temps, inverter temps, motor temps. We are taking all safety precautions to make sure we don't have any fires or meltdowns.
If you were to have a sponsor right now to provide you any parts, who would that be? Who would be your number one sponsor currently that you would need?
Batteries are going to be the expensivest part we need. We're definitely going to be looking for an EV shop that wants to get behind this and jump on board with it, being that there is only one other EV racing hammers and any kind of racing that we're doing as of right now. So far we'll be number 2 doing it. So batteries is our biggest expense that is hard to swallow out of pocket.
For those who want to build something like this, what would be your number one advice?
Well,
We're,
bank account definitely hurts the biggest part, but patience and time. I mean, you have to fab. Every inch of this is going to have to be made in-house. We're going to farm out what we can farm out, but pretty much everything will be made in-house. There's no swap. There's no kits. It's you make the parts, you make it work.
What kind of mindset does one need to have? A racing mentality, a building mentality, or a business mentality?
You're gonna need all, because
Fair enough.
You're gonna need all, because
What are you gonna need? Business?
you're gonna need your business, you're gonna need your racing mentality, and what is it?
Fabrication?
And fabrication. You gotta be all of it. I mean, it's not a cheap sport to get into. Crawling in itself used to be cheap. Now it's no longer wrecking parts. It's all store-bought parts.
Yeah.
It's evolved.
What's going on, guys? Will Speck here. I'm over at the Silva Farms. Got my boy Keith Silva. I'm gonna talk to you about how I know this crazy motherfucker. All right. It dates back probably 99, 2000. I got out of the military, want to do something exciting, so I hooked up with guys like these, like Keith. Keith was into drag racing. Who would have known, right? Who would have known this guy was into drag racing? Not just any kind of drag racing. He was into Honda drag racing.
Yeah, a farmer doing freaking imports.
Doing import stuff. We got a bunch of pictures we're gonna put on the B-roll, so you guys will see what he's all about. Don't worry, there's gonna be plenty of relics and pictures of his history and our history together. So we didn't talk for quite some time, maybe 15, 20 years almost, right?
Everybody grew up.
Everyone grew up.
People got families, moved on.
So we had what got us back together. What got us back together was King of the Hammers. We're in communication with social media and say, hey, let's hook up. So he went down to Hammers for 2022. I go pretty much every year. We hooked up, did our thing over there, had a great time. We saw carnage. We experienced the whole King of the Hammers experience. This guy, he got the bug. With this S10 in the back, man, he was holding it down over at Chocolate Thunder. That's a whole nother video.
Should put it on a smoke show.
Yeah. So with that said, guys, Keith is a real deal. He's been racing, he's been wheeling, he went from imports, diesels, tractor pulls. He did it all. However, what got us back together was King of the Hammers type of shit. What's the best way to describe King of the Hammers? It's Rubicon and what was it? Pismo had a baby. I'm quoting that from Melissa.
Man.
And Burning Man.
Burning Man.
Right? I'm quoting it for your wife.
My wife is like Rubicon and Burning Man all together.
So yeah. So that was the culmination of back to our relationship. It was definitely a reunion. It was definitely a reunion, and I can't be happy. I can't be any more happier than this. This is great. We still love drag racing. We still love the racing thing, but we're growing up. We want to explore other things, and that's what we did. We're exploring. I personally don't have a rig like this. You could pay me enough to have. I just like enjoying other people's rigs. I have my own rig, but it's more of consumer type of stuff. This is the real deal. So, on to the video. Keith, what do you got, man? Anything?
No,
We're just riffing. All right.
it's gonna be a build.
It'll be a build.
It'll be a definitely build.
Model S, P85, rear wheel drive. All the guts are ripped out. It's going in here. All this exo cage stuff being gone.
She's got to be prepped for meeting 4800 class. So
Yep.
it's getting revamped.
So that's it, guys. Till then, love it, live it.
Race it.
Talk to you guys later.